Hello my dears, कैसे हैं आप? My dears, today we are here to see a demonstration for a very special kind of titration. See, in class 11th, titration is known to you. You must have done it many times. The kind of titration we do in class 11th is what we call as acid-base titration. Say, NaOH versus oxalic acid you must have done, right? So, but here in class 12th, the type of titration we do is redox titration. That means you are using an oxidizing agent, right? And you are trying to oxidize something, right? And then you are, based on that, trying to calculate the volume of unknown solution. I repeat, the kind of titration we are performing here in class 12 will be redox titration. Obviously, we require an oxidizing agent. So, oxidizing agent we are going to use is KMnO4, right? Very strong oxidizing agent. And obviously, the medium we are going to take is acidified. So, we'll be adding H2SO4 to give an acidic medium. So, acidified potassium permanganate will be used as an oxidizing agent. Number one. So, and then we'll be taking Mohr salt, FeSO4, NH4 whole twice SO4, 24H2 is the formula for Mohr salt, right? It's light green color, you can see here, right? So this is the salt, right? And we are going to perform titration of KMnO4 versus Mohr salt. Now KMnO4 versus Mohr salt is what kind of titration? It is a redox titration. Redox titration, okay? Obviously, you need an indicator whenever you perform titration. In case of KMnO4 versus Mohr salt or oxalic acid, we don't require any other indicator because KMnO4 will be acting as self-indicator. That means that itself indicates whether the reaction is complete or not. How to go about it? Obviously, the first thing will be to form the solution. But here we have to be very, very careful while forming a solution. What we need to do is, listen to me carefully. This is your Mohr salt. Slightest greenish in color, okay? And I am to prepare a solution. And obviously I require standard measuring flask. And you can see that flask is having exact volume of 250 ml. It is mentioned over here also, fine. Then what do I require? I require the salt, I require this, but then the most important thing is, since this Mohr salt, right, the component which is important for us is FeSO4, that means the oxidation state of FeSO4, that means Fe, in FeSO4 will be +2, right, and it gets hydrolyzed. It gets hydrolyzed in the presence of water. So the moment I place salt into water, right, it simply gets hydrolyzed and turns into Fe3 positive ion. And that makes things just useless for us. Because we are going to try oxidation of Fe2 positive ion into Fe3 positive ion using the oxidizing agent that is KMnO4. But if it is getting hydrolyzed with the help of water only and the oxidation state changes to +3, our whole purpose will be defeated. So what we do to prevent the hydrolysis? So what we do is, we simply add 4N-H2SO4, small amount of 4N-H2SO4 before adding water. I would always suggest add 4N-H2SO4 1 test tube before adding water. So I repeat, to prevent hydrolysis of this salt, I'm going to add 1 test tube full of 4N-H2SO4. Let me show it to you. I've got 4N-H2SO4 solution, right? It will be preventing hydrolysis of this salt. Now, how to go about it? The first step will be obviously to transfer the salt into the standard measuring flask, and we know how to transfer it. For transferring, we need to be careful. This is how we transfer it. But you understand, while transferring, some amount of salt may be there on this watch glass. So what we do is, I'm just trying to ensure that you watch it carefully. I just add little amount of of water, only little amount of water. And immediately I add one test tube full. This is test tube. I'll take one test tube full of 4N-H2SO4. You can see it. It's a 4N-H2SO4. I take one test tube full of 4N-H2SO4 and I'll be adding it to the salt like this. Okay, fine. Okay, and now I'll be adding distilled water with the help of wash bottle. So with the help of wash bottle, I'm adding distilled water. I ensure that no particle is left either on funnel or on the stem of SMF, and then I swirl it. To ensure that all the particles dissolve perfectly. Preparation of solution is known to you, so that's not be difficult. But the only one thing which is a change here in this titration is that we have added a test tube full of 4N-H2SO4 to prevent hydrolysis of iron. Okay. So this should be solution. Now depending upon the molarity, we weight the salt, and that is known to you. Maybe m by 20, m by 50 or m by 10, whatever solution concentration is required, accordingly we weigh and we make a solution. So here we are trying for m by 20. Here we are trying for m by 20 solution of oxalic acid. So you can see that all the particles are dissolved completely. Now be very careful. Very carefully we now add water to it. And you know how much water to be added with the help of wash bottle. We add it just up to this. Okay. Now we have to ensure that it is filled up to this mark, this H mark, right? And the lower meniscus should touch this H mark. This H mark is known to you, and you all understand the importance of making an accurate solution. So I transfer distilled water into the beaker. Keep it safe. Let me put lid. Okay. And then I'll be taking clean pipette. And I'll be taking some water in it. So distilled water is taken, right? Distilled water is taken. And then very gently, very carefully, I'll be adding it. It's very important aspect of making a solution that it should not cross the H mark by any chance. That's it. And solution is made. The rest of the distilled water, since it's very expensive, it must not be thrown away. So I transfer it in the beaker. Place this and keep it safe. Right, now this is a solution, and then I simply tighten the lid and just do it 1, 2 or 3 times at the most, and my solution is prepared. Now what I need to do is be very careful, because solution is formed, it's perfect solution, but then we can't use as such. We can't use solution this, right? Because most of the students try to pipette out solution from here itself. No. We need to transfer the solution. We need to transfer the solution to a beaker. So this is the beaker. And transfer the solution into the beaker. Keep it safe for further use. Okay, now this is our solution of Mohar salt. Now come to this burette. I need to fill the oxidizing agent, which is KMnO4 in this case. So for filling up this oxidizing agent, that is KMnO4, I simply place the funnel, and before I transfer KMnO4 to the funnel, I ensure that it is tightened. Just to check, add little amount, be careful. Fine. The first step is always to ensure that there is nothing else in this burette. So always go for rinsing it. For rinsing it, let me remove it. For rinsing it, it's very simple process of rinsing the burette, and ensure that it is directed towards the sink. That's how you rinse it, and allow it to This is how we have rinsed it. Now the next step will be to fill KMnO4 into this. Before you add KMnO4, you ensure that it is tightened. Fine. So using the same funnel, I'll be now transferring KMnO4. Again check if it is properly tightened or not. Fill it carefully. A bit extra, only a bit extra, and then very carefully remove this funnel. You may wash it. It's a very good habit if you keep on doing it. Keep it safe, and then just allow it to move, and just have a look over here. Exact 50 ml. We always go for the upper meniscus. In case we have got color liquids, we go for upper meniscus. In case we have got colorless liquids, we go for lower meniscus. And then this we need to have very clean time, just to ensure that whatever color is changed is properly visible. Right. What is next step? Next step is to ensure that we have got the titrating flask ready for this. How to get it ready? We transfer the same solution into this. So first of all, what I'll do is I'll try to rinse it. I try to rinse the pipette with your Mohar salt solution. Take little amount of Mohar salt solution and just try to rinse it. The way you rinse the. Okay. Now we need to transfer It's very important that you check the meniscus. It's very important. So if you find it difficult, which may happen sometime, don't worry about it. But then this is how you handle it. It's very important. I'm just showing handling of it. See my finger. See my finger. See my finger. That's how you handle it. This is the way to hold the pipette. Please don't do like this. Right? Okay. So now I go about it and I just pipette out oxalic acid solution. That's it. And I transfer it in the titrating flask like this. This is exact 20 ml. One, two, three times. It will be enough. Now place it gently here, and now be very careful. We need to add 20 ml. We need to add 20 ml of again same 4N-H2SO4. Check it carefully. Exact 20 ml. I'll place. Yeah, exact 20 ml of 4N-H2SO4 is added to the same titrating flask. Okay, and now we start the titration. We all are aware how do you go about it. We simply are experienced enough because we have done it in class 11 and we know how to go about it. And we expect a color change. The color change in the end point will be from colorless to pink. Be very careful. Try. This is the first reading. And obviously the first reading will be estimate reading. So on an estimation, you could see that this is coming nearly 6.5. You can see coming nearly 6.5. So this is the first reading, and then I'll be washing it. And I'll be going for the second one. So instead of this, I'll be taking the fresh one, which I've already prepared. So again, I'll be taking 20 ml of the solution. 20 ml of the solution. Carefully. Transfer it. One, two, three. Enough. Place it here, and then we'll be adding again 20 ml of 4N-H2SO4. And then I start again from where I ended to. Okay, I ended at, so 6.5 we are starting, and if it is 6.5, 6.5 plus 6.5, 13. So maybe I can go up till 12 on one go. And now I'll be careful. and I'll be adding drop wise. I'll be adding it in a drop wise manner. Each drop to be added carefully while be very careful and just check the way I am doing it, and I am holding it. With left hand you need to control the drops, and with right hand you need to fill it. The one hand controlling the drops and one hand is continuously swirling it, and you understand it is almost done. Maybe one or two drops more it requires. Ensure that no even single drop is not wasted. So you can do like this. Add one more drop, hold it, one more drop. It is quite near. The result is almost, yeah, this is it. So this is the color. This should be the permanent color which you expect. And now you can see the reading is exact 30. So even the first one was correct. So 6.5 is the reading for M by 20 Mohr salt solution. I'm talking about titration of Mohr salt versus KMnO4. This is how we go about it. Thank you so much. Take good care. Bye-bye. Now we go for next titration, which is there in our syllabus, is oxalic acid versus KMnO4. Now you can see oxalic acid is whitish solid. Can you see it? Come close. Right. Now the first step will be, obviously we all know, is the transfer oxalic acid, and we don't require to add H2SO4 because there is no point of getting it hydrolyzed with the help of water. So you already know how to transfer it carefully. Then we wash the funnel. We just wash the stem of standard measuring flask. Place it here. Swirl it. Ensure that it is dissolved completely. Oxalic acid solubility is a bit, is a bit less as compared to Mohr salt. Why? Because Mohr salt is a double salt. The ionic compounds get soluble easily, but oxalic acid is not so soluble. So we require a bit temperature also. So one difference in this titration will be that it seems that as if it is soluble, fine, and then we prepare the solution, and you know how to go about it. Fill it first with help of wash bottle. Okay. Add water to beaker. Ensure that there is nothing inside the beaker you can throw. Take some distilled water into beaker. Keep it safe. Then this is already rinsed with distilled water. I can use it. And now I'll be mixing up the solution the way we have done already. I add water carefully. Check for lower meniscus. Need to add a bit more. So take water, carefully uplift it, then very carefully fill it up to the mark. Done. Be very careful about the handling of apparatus. It's very important. So I need to place it again so that I don't waste distilled water. Fine. Okay, that can be done later on. Fine. Okay. Now, this is the beaker. Fine. Now, the solution is prepared. Place the lid. 2-3 times at the most. Okay. Open it and transfer it into the beaker. And now your solution of M/20 oxalic acid is ready. Okay, so I've already kept this ready for you. Now the difference is, of course, the medium is acidic. So I'll be now taking 20 ml of this solution. Exact. So I have to be careful. Check the meniscus. Take solution. One, two, three, done. And then to make the medium acidic, obviously as we did earlier, we need to add 20 ml of H2SO. So this is the approximate amount we're adding because we just need to make it acidic. Then, what is the difference between these two titrations? Here we need to heat it. Here we'll be heating it to provide energy for activation. To provide energy for activation, we are going to heat it because solubility of oxalic acid as compared to the more salt is very, very less. So we have to ensure that it reacts completely. So I'll be heating it. So for heating, what I'll be simply moving towards this. Because only this is working for us. And the temperature is to be kept neither too high nor too low. Why not too high? Why not too low? If it's very low, the reaction will not occur because enough energy for activation is not given. And if I heat it, say beyond 70 or 80. So the oxalic acid may turn into carbon dioxide. So we neither give temperature too less nor too high. So you just see the temperature growing. Check very carefully. The temperature is to be kept between 50 and 60. You can see the thermometer showing the reading. So I'll better take 60 or maybe 50 to 60 or 55. The temperature is to be kept between 50 and 60. So this is almost approached. Now very carefully I need to use it. I'll be using the handkerchief, simple hanky, and then I'll be taking it and I'll be titrating it. So we need to be careful, right? I'll be placing it gently ensuring that it is done. And since it is winters, so it should be comfortable. Now let's see if I'm able to get the reading at first instance. I'll try to get the reading in the first instance. Correct one. It seems as if it's going to come soon. Now let's be careful. Yes, this is the color you can expect, or even lighter if it's possible. So approximately this is the color which we expect, and the reading is 12.5. So this is the reading. Should be enough for you. Thank you so much, dear. So I hope titration is known to you, and now you should record your file with this titration. Thank you so much.